Okay, NIIT now has drifted lower by a good 1% reacting to its earnings. So good time then to cut into the management and hear out what they have to say about the quarter gone by.
And the UK still weak. So the global macroeconomic situation continues to be somewhat uncertain. However, respective governments as well as central banks have been very persistently undertaking measures to deal with the situation in the economy, and that has been very encouraging. And so we've been seeing some positive signs, particularly in the US with the latest unemployment figures showing some improvement, and also data from the UK indicating that there is an uplift in the service economy. China has recently announced very significant investments in infrastructure, which is likely to boost the economy. And closer home, we've seen a slew of measures by the government directed towards both improving the deficit as well as spurring the economy as well as growth in the economy. So I think while the situation in the environment still remains somewhat unclear, the efforts by nations are likely to ensure that the situation improves in the near future. So with this background, I'd like to share with you our second quarter results. The release is available with you. As you can see, we've shown very strong growth, 6.5% quarter-on-quarter growth, as well as 35% revenue growth over the same period last year. And we now have a run rate of revenue which is 500 crores per quarter. And that's a very good milestone that we've been able to achieve in our business to run at a rate of 500 crores a quarter. Operating profits have in fact grown even better, growing 13% sequentially at 84.8 crores for the quarter, and that represents a 54% growth over the same period last year. So both very strong growth in revenues as well as operating profits, and equally significant has been the fresh order intake during the quarter, which has been $93 million in the last quarter. And so we've been maintaining a very steady intake of fresh business even during this somewhat uncertain and turbulent times that we see in the environment. We've been deepening relationships with some of our key clients, and a significant transaction that we did recently was acquiring the development center in Manila of one of our major customers, which is Sabre Holdings, and that enables us to service them even more deeply, besides creating another offshore facility for us to be able to develop and scale our business globally. Manila, as you know, is or has emerged as an important offshore location for BPO services, and we hope to exploit that location to enhance our business going forward. We've had, as you would have noticed, towards the end of the last quarter, almost in the last couple of days, by virtue of the slew of measures that have been taken by the government in opening up the market, as well as in enabling the deficit to be managed much better, the rupee suddenly strengthened towards the end of the quarter. And the strengthening of the rupee has resulted in revaluation of all our outstanding assets as well as debtors, and that has resulted in a loss of over 15 crores in our other income, and that has resulted in net profits being lower despite operating profits being significantly higher as compared to the same quarter. We've seen the strongest growth in our US geography. We saw all-round growth in most of our key clients, and that has been a healthy trend in our business. We've also seen very strong momentum of business in the travel and transport segment. Our business in the EMEA region continues to be the largest geography that we service, and so EMEA contributes to 39% of our revenues, the US contributes to 38% of our revenues. Our share of revenues from the travel and transport space has increased even further, and now we find 42% of our revenue mix from the travel and transport space. BFSI is an area which still remains somewhat sluggish. So even though we have grown in that space, revenue mix from that segment is now 33% of our overall revenues. As I mentioned earlier, $93 million of fresh business was acquired during the quarter, and this includes $20 million of new business from an existing client that is looking at creating a new channel for offering its service, and we're going to be building that platform for that particular channel. And all this fresh intake has resulted in an order book which is executable over the next 12 months, which means firm business that we're going to execute over the next 12 months of $253 million. We added 173 net staff additions took place during the quarter, taking our head count to 7,617 at the end of the period. So with these opening remarks, I'll be able to now open the floor for any discussions, and be very happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.